Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Hoodie London. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders that took place on the 13th of November 2023. In 2 weeks' time, it's going to be the 1-year anniversary of the 4 victims that were brutally murdered in 1122 Kings Road. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, viewers, for their kind comments, their interesting discussion. Brian Koberger has been charged for these 4 horrific quadruple murders, but nobody is guilty until proven guilty in the courts. There's so much things that do not make sense at all. That Koberger could have done these awful quadruple murders by himself. I've said that from the very beginning in the last couple of months. I don't like to jump into quick decisions of accusing someone of this crime. It is possible that Brian Christopher Koberger is involved somehow or the other. It's possible that he was involved in these horrific quadruple murders, and it's completely possible that he's innocent because there wasn't any DNA of Brian Koberger that was found in the house except the knife sheet. That is clearly a touch DNA. That doesn't prove much. We've heard the forensic experts saying that touch DNA can be transferred by, a very good example is if somebody shakes your hand and goes and does a quadruple murder, your DNA could come up on his knife sheet or his weapon. So I would like to have an open mind to this case, since everything seems to be on gag order for a certain purpose, and I believe the purpose is because they do not have anything connecting Brian Christopher Koberger directly to these murders, or indirectly, besides the touch DNA. Brian Koberger could have known the victims, although they say he doesn't know them. Brian Koberger could have known the surviving roommates, and they could have called him to the scene after the quadruple murders. I always try and stick to the timeline between 3 to 4 a.m. because that was the timeline that was given to us by the chief, Fry. Along the way, 7 weeks later, we saw that everything changed. The surviving roommates were supposed to be not witnesses, according to the chief himself. He said that, I didn't say they were witness. I said they were just there. So how could they become witness after 6-7 weeks? We have to do our critical thinking. How could they just become witness after 6-7 weeks? We were told that DM was sleeping in the first floor and BF was sleeping in the first floor too. 7 weeks later, when they found the white Hyundai Elantra, we were told that DM was a witness and that she was allegedly sleeping in the second floor. Why didn't they mention that first? They knew exactly where DM and BF were sleeping because the police took a thorough interview with them. That is why I prefer to believe the first timeline. Either you're sleeping in the first floor or you were sleeping in the second floor. Which one was it, Chief? There's so much things that doesn't add up But I clearly believe the first timeline 3 to 4, and I'll tell you why. It's clear to see from the Grub Truck observation, which I've been doing for a while. And I finally showed you all the pictures that Joe DeVito was watching. Although he said he did not know John Showalter, JS, that is the hoodie guy, I believe he's lying. I did a whole observation of it a couple of days ago. And then we have Jeff H., the troll, who has been passing misinformation in this case from the very beginning. He keeps on changing his name and trolling channels around. He has his own narrative so that we do not expose the truth for whatever reason. He has only 4 or 5 clips in his channel. One of them is debunking what I said about Maddie number 9. The second one is he took my whole observation, pointed the cameras to exactly where I pointed, especially when the crowd was screaming, Xana. He didn't even give me a shout out. He did not say it's for fair use purpose. A good example of someone who is just a blessed person, Tommy Jude from Once Upon a Time crime channel. Tommy Jude has been active trying to figure out what exactly happened. He plays everyone's clips to promoters. He's just a sweetheart. Jeff H. has been kicked out of many panels for spreading gossip and rumors. He even changed the Linda Lane footage and added and edited things that he wants us to see that wasn't there. What I am showing y'all is facts, because I'm zooming into the mobile device, the phone device of Jovito, who's allegedly watching the crime scene pictures. I've zoomed in for the last couple of months on Saeed in the Banfield video. So most of y'all have understood these pictures, and I've asked y'all to zoom it in yourselves because it's really hard for me to zoom in and exactly show y'all. It becomes more blurry. But if y'all stop it at every picture Jovito and Saeed are watching, and you'll zoom in yourselves and try to check it yourselves, y'all will see that something is going on that is completely wrong. The police said that they investigated the Grub Truck and there was nothing to see. I don't believe that. Why all these people yelling out Xana's name when Xana's clearly not there? Let's not forget, Ethan, his mother said in an interview that 2 a.m. is the hardest time for us. What does she mean by that? Something happened to her beloved son at 2 a.m. The coroner said that she pronounced the deaths after 2 a.m. I know that can be 2, 3, 4, 5, but the pronunciations of death, trigger warning, usually is around the time that it happened. These 4 victims deserve justice. No human being should be unlived at all, and especially in this manner. So, Jeff H., I'm going to observe this video once again. If you come next to my video, I've already reported you to YouTube. If you do this once again, and if you come into my comment channel, I blocked you today out of my comment channel, there will be severe legal actions taken upon you. I don't know who you think you are and the audacity you have of stealing other people's works. That is ethically, morally wrong. Have some self-dignity. Have some shame. I don't work for you to be stealing my content. I know that the Grub Truck video is a public video, and you can use it as much as you want. But stop pointing out what I've observed and what I've put out there. I've clearly put out everything 4 days ago, and you waltz in and just come and pick up whatever you feel like and put it in your contents. I'm not having that. You need to be ashamed of yourself unless you are really out for trouble. Now, coming back to this observation, I'll start by naming out certain people. Many people have asked me to put marks or to put colors or to put highlights on the people I'm talking about. There was a person even on a channel trying to argue with me back and forth. What people need to understand is these people are not people of interest. These people have all been ruled out. Some of them weren't even ruled in to start with. So for me to highlight and circle these people could get me and my channel into trouble. I'm a mental health counselor, a licensed mental health counselor. I have to be mindful. I want justice for the 4 students as much as everybody wants justice. I've seen many people highlighting and putting colored pens and all that on the people they're talking about, circling them, but that is wrong. And I refuse to do that. I will try to explain myself clearly about who I'm talking to with descriptions of the clothes they're wearing, etc. But I am not going to put out or label these people because that could put them in harm's way. And I'm not interested in getting more victims. I'm interested in getting justice of the victims we already have. So I hope you all can be mindful and respect my decision. It is a tough one, but it is the right one. It's the right call. We don't do that, and we shouldn't do that. If other creators do that, it's upon them. These people are not, I repeat, not people of interest. And I don't want to get into trouble with them. And besides getting into trouble, in my line of duty as a mental health counselor, I need to be more mindful. That's the way I'm raised, and that's the way I intend to continue my channel. So I hope you can still support me for that. I would love to circle them, but that isn't right. I don't want to put them in harm's way because they could be innocent. To start with, you can see there's 4 different pictures here. Do not concentrate on the one with the Grub Truck workers because they don't have anything to do with this. Look at the above picture on the left. The man who's standing in front of the cashier and the one who's standing behind him with the brown jacket. I need to explain to you all clearly because I made a couple of clips about it, but I don't think anyone understood what my intention was. These 2 people have very suspicious behaviors. The one in black comes from the other direction, where you can see downstairs the direction straight ahead in the down picture. The one with the brown jacket comes from exactly where he's standing. Behind him, he comes from that direction. Now the one in brown is very interesting, with his hand in his pocket. When he comes from that direction, as soon as he starts coming from the end of the road, you can see that he came out of a car. It's difficult to show you all because it's right in the corner. I hope you all can get to see that because it's really difficult. But if you go to the original Grub Truck video, you'll find it there. As soon as he comes out, you can see him walking. A white car drives by. It's clear to see that he got off a white car. When he's leaving, he chucks his food in the trash behind him. Many people have noticed that and agreed, and some people say that is not true. It is true, allegedly, because you see he has a white box of food in his hand. Not a small box. Mind you all, it's a large box. I think it's macaroni and cheese. Obviously, when they get their food, you'll have to observe properly, and clearly you see that the box is quite big. The food is closed. He takes his food. He crashes into the other one, which I'll soon talk about. He goes back into the same direction behind him. His lanyard is swinging. He has the white box of food in his hand. As soon as he passes the trash, the box is gone. And it's clear to see. You just have to follow his movements. Sometimes you're not going to see everything in a breakdown of him holding the food and then chucking it in the bin and the box dropping in the bin. Obviously, you're not going to see that. But common sense will tell you he had a box of food in his hand, and all of a sudden, the box of food is gone as soon as he passes the trash. I'm even wondering if something was put in the box and somebody else was coming to collect it. Because I haven't seen anyone ordering food, waiting for 10-15 minutes, getting the food and then chucking it. Why would you go through all that lengthy process if you are just going to chuck food? Doesn't make sense. It costs money to buy food. It costs time to wait for the food. So people don't just chuck food. Now coming to the one in front of him, they pretend that they don't know each other. And I've been observing this for months, but study them properly. This one orders his food, the first one in front of the cashier with the black jacket, black shoes, and something red underneath. It's a red tie, I believe. He goes the other direction and waits near the wall. This other one orders his food, which he's going to chuck, allegedly, and then he goes the same direction. They pretend they don't know each other. They're standing a bit away from each other. Then, while the conversations and everyone is roaming around in the grub truck, he goes and stands with this guy. They start talking. Then these two gentlemen are standing right behind Kaylee and Maddie. It seems like they're observing them, which many other people are doing too. That's why I believe the Grub Truck and the Banfield video is extremely important. I've been mentioning this for at least 4 months. Many other creators have been debunking it, saying, I don't think these are innocent little kids. I don't find anything innocent that is going over here. Because we have a tragic murder of 4 precious souls. They go, they stand and they talk to each other, and then the food is ready. This one with the black jacket comes and gets his food. Then the other one in the brown jacket gets his food. They crush into each other, especially the one in brown. And then he looks behind. It looks like he's confused of which direction he's going. Very suspicious behaviors. When the one in brown approaches to collect his food, Maddie, I believe Joe was right about one thing, that Maddie, may she rest in peace, was intoxicated. I believe she was given a roofie. It wasn't only intoxication that was going on. She could barely stand on her feet, and I believe something happened in the Corner Club. Let's not forget Joe Vito, number 9, number 8, and half of this crowd came from the Corner Club. So whatever was happening, I believe this plan must have started a long time ago, a couple of weeks maybe, a week before the murders, allegedly, but it started in the Corner Club through the Grub Truck. Then we had the nonsense going on in Banfield, with the figures running, with Dylan's SUV and everything. You saw Dylan's, not SUV, sorry, the big black truck that she's taking pictures with. Allegedly, some people say it belongs to her stepmother, but I don't have facts of that. But I find all these things that I'm observing to be really concerning. So these two are very important. Number 8 and number 9 are extremely important for me. I've been speaking about them for a couple of months. The reason I believe those two are important is you can see number 9 is actually waiting for Maddie to come in. As soon as she comes in, he waves to her. Maddie goes there, gives him an embrace, they hug each other. Then Maddie turns away from him and then she goes back and tells him something in his ear. As soon as she does that, number 9 gives the signal to number 8 that he's going to put someone to sleep. Basically, he closes his hands, both hands on each other, and puts it under his ear and gives that sign of going to sleep, putting someone to bed. That is a famous sign, especially with youngsters, rap music. You will see that sign. I see that a lot. So number 9 and 8 are extremely important for me. I personally believe number 9 was putting something in Maddie's mouth, but everyone sees it different. You can even see when he puts something there in her mouth, you can see Maddie sucking on it. I don't know what it is, and it's not a ticket, and it's not a chewing gum, obviously, although some people say that. So those are two important people. I've explained 8, 9, these two men above with the black jacket and brown jacket. The one in the brown jacket chucks his food. John Jack Showalter is another important character. I've mentioned before that he is not only observing and paying attention to the girls, he doesn't look to me to be an escort for helping the girls to go home. May they rest in peace. He looks like he was sent on a mission and he was completing his mission. But since the girls left him without him seeing that spoiled his mission. Jack Showalter is texting this guy who comes in the Grub Truck, who's much older than them. They're texting each other. I've showed that many times, and I'll show you that again. There's many people standing here up to no good. So I'm going to start from here. Look behind this guy and look straight down. You see the guy in the brown jacket who chucks his food, making an entrance, and you see the white car driving behind him. It's difficult to see the white car because you see only the edge of the white car. And a white car comes and picks him up. I believe that is important because a white car was the description that was given to Brian Christopher Koberger. But I don't believe Brian is the only one who has a white car. There are over 26,000 white cars in Idaho, Moscow. Pay attention to the road and I'll show you when he comes in. See, you see the light of the car? But the other light is much more powerful. Let me rewind it a bit. There. You see from the reflection of the window. So here's the friend. Now pay attention straight ahead. There, the guy's come. He's walking down. There, you see a white car going. Now that he's here, just pay attention. These two pretend they don't know each other. Behind, with a yellow hoodie and a cap, is allegedly David Lodge from the 4chan. He was the guy allegedly who had beef with Eaton and Zana. You can see these two are pretending they don't know each other. Now watch the one in the black. He goes around. I think he's thinking not to make it obvious. He goes and he stands behind. This young man, you know what is strange? Look at his shoes. It's just observation how big it is. And we saw the footprint in front of the girl's house that the forensics was taking pictures of. It did look like that shoes for me, or something like that. See? He passes the guy, he pretends he doesn't know him. Now they stand next to each other. The guy with the beard is important too, because he keeps up paying attention to Maddie and Zana. Maddie and Kaylee. I apologize. Those two are still standing there. Now they're standing together. I don't know what the bearded guy is watching on his mobile device.